What's going on? Welcome to a brand new episode of Breakaway Coverage. I'm your host, Giancarlo Nadeau. Absolutely delighted to be speaking with Kevin Bathurst, the general manager for the TO Lakers, over 20 plus years as a coach and third year with the Lakers. Kevin, thanks for doing this. How's everything going?
Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, everything's great. I appreciate you giving me a call.
Yeah, so excited to be talking with you right now. I'd just love to know a little bit more about you. Where did you grow up and how did hockey become such a big part of your life?
Yeah, I grew up in just kind of east of Ottawa in a little town called Orleans and played hockey for in a community called Cumberland. And just it was a part of our community. It was a part of our culture as a kid and our family and our neighborhood and so growing up playing with my friends I went to school with and lived on the street with it was a lot of fun. It's just kind of something that was a part of our family growing up and a big piece of what we did. So
Yeah, being from Ottawa, I'd imagine outdoor rinks were a big part of your childhood.
yeah, you betcha. Yeah, that and the Rideau Canal and so yeah, I mean winters were colder than they are now, especially living in the Okanagan. But the outdoor rink was a 3 or 4 minute walk down the street from my house, and so spent a lot of time outside and just playing and enjoying the game.
So I guess as an Ontario boy, you had two options, the Leafs or the Senators. Which way
Uh,
did you go?
I disagree. The real answer to that question is the Montreal Canadiens. So yeah, I mean my family's originally from Montreal, and so the Habs were a big part of our life growing up too, and still a diehard Habs fan at heart here. But the Senators. I'm old enough to remember when they came to town as an expansion team. So I grew up on the Habs, but it was I was a young kid when the Sens moved to town. They're a big piece too, and both those franchises have a dear place in my heart for sure.
Well, I knew you liked it for a good reason. I'm a big Habs fan myself, so
There
you
you
got
go.
something. Yeah, just wondering, like for you, were there any coaches, maybe some of the first ones that you had that kind of had a big influence in your life?
Yeah, I think my dad always coached. He coached me and my friends growing up, so I think that has always been what has been so special about being able to work in the game. It's something that my family's always done together. And then from there, going to school and getting an opportunity to work with, Gardner McDougall at the University of New Brunswick, Clark Singer at the University of Western Ontario, Ron Watson, Barry Martinelli. Those guys were huge for me. Big supporters of me, took a chance on me, and so for that, forever grateful. Those guys, some of the best coaches in our country, in my opinion. The university game, probably the most underrated hockey in North America and probably across the world in our sport. And so really thankful that those guys gave me the opportunity to pursue my passion and develop in the game and they were great for me. So those guys I owe a lot of gratitude to.
You went to school to study kinesiology. I'm just kind of curious to know how that plays a role in the way that you're able to operate a hockey club and coach a hockey club.
Yeah, I think education's important. Kinesiology was a way for me to kind of merge my love for sport and hockey, not just hockey, but all sport. And so it was good. I think, the science behind athlete development and, sport management and the administration side of the game. I think education is critical in anything we do. So how do we, get better and continue to grow and again, the athletic or the academic side of sport, whether it was coaching or the administration side of the game, has allowed me to pursue what I want to pursue. So it's I think it's huge, and anybody that has a desire to work in the game and grow in the game, I think it's the best thing you can do is find yourself in a good athletic or academic environment that can help you kind of achieve those goals at the university level.
Take a couple seconds and just kind of tell me the teams that you've kind of coached over the last 20 years.
Oh Jesus. I've been everywhere and I've done it all. You know, I have worked at every level of the game, in every environment from minor hockey stuff, to as a graduate assistant coach at the University of Western Ontario, to the Junior B and the Junior C and Junior D leagues of Southwestern Ontario. The Lambeth Lancers and the St. Thomas Stars. In the Greater London area, the London Nationals as well a little bit. And then from there, I spent 7 years at Hockey Canada in their head office there, working in their development department and working with minor hockey associations across the country. And spent time in the Alberta Junior Hockey League as a coach and assistant general manager across a couple different programs, and then into the academy world, and then from there into an administrator in the game here now, and have been around, scouted in the Western Hockey League for a little bit with the Chilliwack Bruins, which is now the Victoria Royals. And so kind of seen it all from all different lenses, and I'm very fortunate to be able to have done so.
For you being a part of mostly male teams, just kind of talk to me about what it's like now working on the other side of the puck with females.
Yeah, you know what? Hockey's hockey at the end of the day, and the female athlete is just an athlete. No different than the male athlete. And I think for sure, it's a little bit different. It's got its own uniquenesses and quirks. But at the end of the day, hockey's hockey, and the female athlete is an athlete at heart, and they just want to be treated like an athlete, and they play the game just as hard, just as physical, just as fast as their male counterparts. And the game's growing. So it's, the transition from the male side to the female side and then back to the male side, I think is a lot more fluid than it used to be. I think, back when the female game was in its infancy or a lot younger, it may have been a little bit more difficult for coaches, to be able to kind of, float between the two, but you see a lot of transfer now. And I think that that's huge. At the end of the day, hockey's hockey. And so the game is no different on the female side than it is on the male side.
Did you ever think that being a part of female hockey would be something that you would be a part of one day?
You know what? I just love the game. So any opportunity to be involved at a high level, with passionate athletes, is kind of it. Just it's what gets me going. So, when the opportunity came, it was a good one. It fit my family at the time. It fit my day job at the time. So it was a good step for me, and I really enjoy it. The kids are awesome. They work hard, and hockey's hockey for me. So any team at this level, it's a pleasure.
You kind of brushed on this one a little bit, so in another sense, you're probably going to re-answer it the same way. But what responsibility do you feel that hockey leaders have in creating meaningful opportunities for a female athlete?
Yeah, like, I think the female athlete, there's so much opportunity there. The game's growing, the landscape's changing. It's there's more opportunity now with the growth of the PWHL, and the university landscape, continues to add programs, and so there's just so much there. And that's our responsibility as leaders in the sport, is to help grow good people and help grow opportunities for youth and for young adults, so that they can pursue their dreams just like people did that for us when we were kids. So I think, we just gotta keep pushing, open more doors for girls, open more doors for boys. We have to do the same, right? So, opportunity is what's important, and making sure that these athletes have an opportunity to play at the highest level they can.
Talk to me a little bit about your program now, the TO Lakers.
Yeah, that you know what, we've grown a ton in the last couple of years. We hosted a national championship 3 years ago, with the ESO Cup, and that was great for our program. It's left a huge legacy in our community. We continue to try to build and add things to our program every year, so that it's a destination place for girls to play in our region. It's a competitive landscape with the sports school hockey league and everything else that's out there, private hockey. So we have to remain competitive. We have to do things, we have to do things not necessarily different, but we have to do things well every day. Whether it's what we do in the gym, what we do with our goalies, the facilities we're able to provide. We built a dressing room here 2 years ago, and that's huge for our program. Not many, not all female teams at this level have that luxury. We do now, which is great. So these girls have a home. That's important. Good practice times, all those things. We have to continue to build and get better every year and try to find, different gaps in our program annually that we can build on. Because it's no different than, a team in an individual season. You're always working, trying to get better. And that's what we do as a program is, what can we elevate for next year? What can we do better so that these girls, have the opportunity to pursue what they want to pursue, but that it's a destination place for girls to play.
I know this is a challenge for not just you, but anybody involved with female hockey. How do you ensure female players receive equal access to coaching, resources, and development opportunities?
Yeah, I think they're athletes and they're great athletes, man. Like they work hard and they play hard and they train hard. And so you try to recruit the best all the time. And I think again the lens on female hockey's changed now and it's there's lots of opportunity. There's lots of opportunity for young coaches. There's lots of opportunity for experienced coaches. And so like I said before, that female hockey, male hockey, it's the same. Hockey's hockey. And so we try to recruit the best and we try to recruit the best athlete. And to do that, we need the best coaches. But to get the best coaches, you need the best athletes too. It's kind of give and take there. And so, we're after both. I think, female coaches are developing. We are getting way better with, female coaches in our landscape as well. And that's going to change the game. It's going to be awesome.
Talking about female coaches, how important do you think they are to the long-term growth of the women's game?
Yeah, I think females, a young female athlete for sure needs a good female role model. And so that's been huge for us, trying to bring in good female role models into our program, whether it's girls that have graduated from here, trying to promote, young female coaches that have finished playing the game and want to get into coaching. That's huge. Girls need female coaches. When I took over this program 3 years ago, I'm in my third year. We brought on a coach named Jenna, and Jenna was awesome. She was a former player, and that was the first time this program's had a female leader in the dressing room. From a coaching perspective, and some of our girls, that was their first opportunity as a 17-year-old kid to have a female coach. So that's huge. We need those for kids. That's it's not okay not to just have male coaches in the female game. We need female coaches and female leaders, and that'll make the game stronger. It'll make our girls stronger, and it'll make our game stronger because I think they bring um, you know a perspective onto the game as to how it's played and how it's managed, and the culture around the game that is good for us.
I want to ask you about the PWHL. Have you noticed an increase in the number of players registering in female hockey up where you are with Vancouver getting a team?
Yeah, you know what? I'll bring that back to ESO Cup 3 years ago. Our numbers have exploded in the region since then. When girls can see it, they'll do it. Um, and so, lots of work through ESO Fun Days and recruiting programs. Whether it's the first shift program and our female numbers there in the region are really high. And I think the PW game now is just going to explode the growth of female hockey. Again, now there's something for these girls to pursue. It's on TV, it's on Instagram, it's visible now, and that's a big piece. And if girls can see it, they'll do it. They'll chase it.
What excites you most about the future of women's hockey in the Thompson-Okanagan region?
Yeah, I just think it's growing. It's getting better. More kids are playing every year. The caliber is great. The coaching is great out here. There's lots of good, there's just lots of good people involved in the female game. So I think the growth is just exponential every year. That the caliber is getting better, the players getting better, the coaches they're getting better, and it's just going to continue to grow. And that's, I got two young daughters, so um it's important that the game continues to develop at the same rate as any other gender in the game, that female hockey is at the forefront, so that that it's a safe place and a great place for kids to play.
You've been a part of hockey in general for a couple of years now. I'm just kind of curious to know how you define success beyond the scoreboard.
Yeah, you know what? It's just about developing good people all the time. Hockey's just a tool for creating community, for creating leaders, for creating good people. That's success. The scoreboard's great. Kids moving on to achieve their goals, that's great. And we just want good people. At the end of the day, this is about building community. Um, building good people in our environment, and so I think that that's what success is at the end of the day. Good people.
I want to leave you with one more question here, and again, I really appreciate the time you've taken today. What advice would you give to a young girl interested in playing hockey?
Yeah, it's the best game in the world. So that's my advice. It's fun. It's fast. The female game is growing. There's so much opportunity. And you know what? It's the best game in the world with the best people in the world. That's my opinion.
That's Kevin Bathurst, who is the general manager for the TO Lakers, Thompson-Okanagan Lakers. Kevin, a pleasure. Thanks so much for doing this. Really did appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Breakaway Coverage. I'm John Carlo Nadeau. We'll talk to you on the next one.